France. Now, the jubilation around the ceremony was almost overshadowed by a string of attacks on the French rail network. According to the French State Railway, SNCF, high-speed lines were impacted and several of its facilities were damaged. Fibre optic cables and pipes were set alight. 2 trains carrying Olympic athletes were amongst those affected. Investigators are still trying to work out who carried out the attacks. The French Prime Minister, Gabriel Attal, says they were prepared and organised in a way that shows a knowledge of the networks. Axel Persson is the leader of the CGT Railway Workers Union in Trappes in France. Sir, you join me from Montpellier. This was and you also have said, this was a well-planned, these vandals, these criminals, they knew where to go and what to attack.
Yes, exactly as you said, because they did it in a coordinated manner and a simultaneous attack, which aimed at trying to paralyze the entire high-speed network of the country. 4 attacks have been identified, and the 4th of them, one of them was actually thwarted by colleagues, by railway workers who were present at the scenes and were doing maintenance work, and spotted one of the teams who were actually trying to implement the last of the attacks, but they had to flee the scene, as I saw our colleagues present at the scene, which they hadn't planned for. So one of them were actually thwarted by colleagues. But yes, of course, it was a well thought out, methodical attack. But as things stand now, nobody really knows who exactly these people are and why they did it.
You know, we can call it terrorism with a small t in a sense, because it did, but this was designed for disruption rather than for loss of life in a sense, and it's very disappointing, isn't it, with so many people looking forward to travelling around France, which is looking at its absolute best at the moment.
Yes, of course, that was a purpose, as far as we know. But I'm saying, as far as we know, the attack wasn't aimed at provoking a loss of life, but rather disrupting the network and shutting down the network. But given the fact that one of the attacks was thwarted and that actually quite a lot of human resources have been mobilized for this period, the network will be able to run again starting from tomorrow. And actually, quite a lot of the trains that were delayed have been actually running from this afternoon. But of course, the disruptions are really important. These are major disruptions across the country.
And your workers, your members, I mean, they must have done extraordinary work to not only repair and then to test and then to make sure that the system was working so that people can enjoy the Olympics properly.
Yeah, of course, it's been quite a day for all those who've been working on the field today, because it's a huge amount of work to not only repair the cable, but to identify all of them who have been damaged, and also to make sure before the trains are allowed to run again that they can be done safely, because the cables that were targeted are cables that are used by signalers in order to control the switches and in order to direct the traffic. So it's of the utmost importance that before trains are allowed to run again, that everybody is sure they work, because, of course, a major failure of these systems can lead to catastrophes, which is, of course, not something that anybody could accept. So, yeah, they've been doing fantastic work to reestablish the trains today.
Well, first of all, congratulations. I mean, Paris is looking just extraordinary, and the Olympic Games look like they're marvellous. What's the event? Which sport will you be watching most closely? Which sport will you be following best, Axel?
I don't know, actually, because I will actually be working quite a lot during these Olympics, because the trains have to run in order to transport all the people who have come here to watch the events. But on a personal note, I might be particularly interested in bow archery. That's quite a peculiar interest.
There we are. Yes, that was an unusual one. Thank you, sir. I look forward to your arrows and things, and safe driving of the trains. And congratulations, sir. Thank you. Questions Business.